All right. What's up, fam? What's up, guys? How you doing? How you feeling? How good? How are you? All right, welcome to the Pitchfork podcast for April 1st, 2021. This is your host, the devil man himself, the badass. I'm Black Panther. I'm part of NFAC, but I'm also a pure-blooded American, combat veteran, persecuted journalist, bad cop, no donut specialist, corrupted files specialist, the one and only devil's advocate, Dion McNeil. Guys, hit like button, share button. Make sure you share the content with other people. Let other people know that I run this show for you every day, and I do it for you. I do it for the people. Always for the people. So let's get into the show, guys. We're going to be having a live whole show for you today. I got to go pay child support a little bit later. You know how it goes. But I'm a real father. I'm a real man. One thing I think people like about me the most is that I'm authentic. I don't fake it. I don't bullshit you, man. That's one thing about me, man. I try to be as real as possible. You know. And I understand that comes at a cost. And the cost sometimes is that people are going to reject what I say. People are going to get mad at me, but that's perfectly fine. Diesel Bomber, what's up in the chat? What's going on? What's up, fam? I missed you too. I missed you too, my brother. All right? My brother from another mother, I missed you as well. So we're going to get into the show. First of all, we're going to start with Matt Gaetz. We're going to get into it. But first, before we get into the show, guys, all right, we're going to do a little ceremony before we get the show started. This ceremony is going to be called Smoke 'em if you got 'em. 420, smoke 'em if you got 420 in the chat, please, guys. Give me a 420 in the chat because it's a freedom and liberty podcast. I like guns. I like weed. I like all that shit because guess what? At the end of the day, it's all about freedom. 420. Smoke 'em if you got 'em. Before we get into the show. All right. So, 420, smoke 'em if you got 'em. You get into the show. Let me go ahead and get you guys some links real quick. Let's go with it. I'll get you guys some links to the show. That way you can join in on the show when you want to. By the way, I fixed up my Skype account so that way you guys can actually call in. So call in if you want to, guys. Pin this message. Like join in on the show. Dial 253-203-6784. Once again, that number is going to be 253-203-6784. Or join my Discord service voice chat. Plus, let me know you joined. All right? I'm guessing that you guys are going to like my new energy. I bring a lot of energy to the freaking chat now, you know, because the one thing about me, man, is that I'm very high energy. That's why most YouTubers cannot keep up with me because they can't match my energy, baby. Let's get into the live scene. Boom. All right, so let's go ahead and get a window capture. We're going to talk about Matt Gaetz. Matt Gaetz, man, I tell you, that guy, he is extra funky. Right about now. I mean, extra funky, baby. Just stanky. Just, oh, my God. Just stanky. Okay? I don't even want to touch him with your hands, baby. Okay? Let's get into the show. All right. We're going to look up Matt Gaetz real quick. We're going to have a conversation about Mr. Gaetz. Gaetz and his fuckery. As you see on the screen, guys, Devil's Advocate channel, the Pitchfork podcast, 1 p.m. Pacific time, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Bad Cop, No Donut, Pitchfork podcast. Sometimes gaming streams. I should take off that daily part because I don't game as much anymore. Let's talk about Matt Gaetz. Let's go look at the Tucker Carlson interview. The Tucker Carlson interview. Now, I'm going to tell you. That was just... This interview was painful to watch, man. I got to be honest with you. It was painful to watch. It was cancerous. It was stinky. It was funky. I didn't want anything to do with it, baby. I mean, listen. My brother. Matt Gaetz, brother. Have a seat on the goddamn couch. Matt Gaetz, have a seat on the goddamn couch. I'm going to need you just to have a fucking seat, bro. I mean, I'm not trying to be mean. Matt Gaetz, have a seat. I'm setting up some
about to experience a nigga moment.
Set that even lower. Look. There we go. So I have a little bit of background music for me. All right, so we're gonna get into Matt Gaetz. Matt Gaetz, this interview was, good Lord. Let me turn it on. Let's there we go, man. Have a little bit of music too. I'll listen to this, man. This shit gonna be cancerous. 420 smoke if you got him. All right. This shit gonna be wild, man. This shit gonna be wild. You know what? I'm gonna take the goddamn hit before I get in this shit. Cause listen, I'm suffering for I'm suffering for you guys. I've already seen this damn interview. It was painful to watch, man. Bro, this man straight up needs to come have a seat on the goddamn couch. Matt Gaetz need to come have a seat on the goddamn couch. I'm just saying. Sir, sit down. Put the cookies down, sir. No, you can't have no milk, sir. Oh, you're free to leave, sir. When you get outside, the deputies are gonna be waiting on you. That's what I mean about Matt Gaetz, baby. So, listen, this shit is gonna be cancerous. I'm gonna watch this. This shit gonna be.
Times ran a story saying that Florida Congressman Matt Gaetz is under federal investigation for playing some role in sex trafficking and potentially having a relationship with a 17-year-old girl.
This is gonna be cancerous,
few
man.
details in major news outlets tonight about this story. We have no background on it all and not even any very informed questions. Instead,
you could just look at Tucker's face. Look at Tucker's face. Look at Tucker's face, man. Just, oh my God. Just listen. Oh my God. Look at that man's face. Look at that man's face. This is gonna be cancerous, man. This is gonna be the Matt Gaetz story. This is the Tucker Carlson interview. I'm reacting to it. It's I'm gonna tell you, look, Matt Gaetz, have a seat on the goddamn couch, man. Put down the cookies. No, you can't have no milk. You are free to go. When you're outside, when you get outside, the deputies will be waiting on you. That's how I feel about Matt Gaetz from that, baby. Oh my God. Listen, man, it's just, oh my God. Listen, this whole interview, let me tell you what kind of moment it's gonna be.
You're about to experience a nigga moment.
It's just gonna be a hardcore one, man. So we're gonna go ahead and play this, and it's gonna be cancerous. It's gonna maybe we're gonna want to just say, oh my God. It's just, Listen, brother. I have my limits, right? I have my limits. And those limits, it's Matt Gaetz looks like he's just a freak, man. He looks like he just doing some other extra shit that I ain't want no fucking part of. But I'm gonna do this for the fucking fans. People want me to react to this shit. I'm gonna react to it. I've already seen this whole interview. I've already seen this particular interview, and I'm gonna tell you the reason why I'm stuttering is because, man, this shit was fucking uncomfortable, man. Yo, it was like watch this interview was like taking a shit, like a hard shit, like not that kind of soupy shit, but like kind of like machine gun shit. Yeah, man, like bro, this shit was uncomfortable, bruh.
Just a couple of hours ago, late this afternoon, the New York Times ran a story saying
Look at Tucker's face the whole time.
Matt Gaetz is under federal investigation
Look at his face the whole time.
for playing some role in sex trafficking and potentially having a relationship with a 17-year-old girl. There are very few details in major news outlets tonight about this.
Look at Tucker's face the whole time. This motherfucker, he looks like... You know, he looks like he's just... Tucker looks like he don't want to be there. Yo, Tucker looked like he Kendrick Lamar in that one music video in the pool full of liquor that he ain't want to damn dive in, baby. I mean, oh my God, just listen. Look at this man's face the whole time.
Story. We have no background on it all and not even any very informed questions. Instead, we've invited Congressman Gates on the show to respond to these stories and give us his view of them. Congressman, thanks so much for coming on. Appreciate it. So this is obviously a serious allegation.
Jesus.
Tell us what the truth is from your perspective.
Mm-hmm.
It is a horrible allegation, and it is a lie. The New York Times is running a story that I have traveled with a 17-year-old woman, and that is verifiably false. People can look.
Verifiably false. You know, you can't say someone is guilty or something by saying, well, you can't prove that you didn't do it. But, I mean, I guess you would have to assume that he didn't do it until you had evidence. But the problem is that...
Oh, my God! Wow! Oh, my God!
That appear to be an investigation. You know? Like Bobby Boucher would say, there appear to be an investigation into you, sir, by the FBI. Now, that is not the that is not Barney Fife, baby. You know, he ain't from Mayberry, baby. Ain't nobody in the FBI from Mayberry, baby. That is the Federal Bureau of Investigations. Okay, so I don't know about you, but I would start worrying. I'll tell you what.
What?
Yeah, I would start worrying. I would worry, baby.
My innocence, and that will show that these allegations aren't true. They're merely intended to try to bleed my family out of money. And this former Department of Justice official tomorrow was supposed to be contacted by my father so that specific instructions could be given regarding the wiring of $4.5 million as a down.
So you mean tell me a Department of Justice official, somebody who's in the Department of Justice, would go to a sitting congressman, not only a sitting congressman, but a congressman whose name has been in everybody's mouth lately because of the Capitol insurrection, right? So I mean, I just want here, I just want you to hear me out here. You want me to believe that a sitting congressman was threatened by a Department of Justice official, and this Department of Justice official was blackmailing you? And they blackmailed you not with, let's say, allegations of you inciting the insurrection, which by the way, would be a much more believable claim, right? But you flying around with a 17-year-old girl. You think if someone would want to use something against you, they would use something like the Capitol insurrection, like faking some letters or faking some emails. That makes a lot more sense, a lot more doable, actually a lot more believable. And actually, depending on how well you do it, you might actually get away with it, baby. You never know. You never know. So, I mean, the thing about it is that, listen, brother, I don't know if you know it, but what you saying sounds like some bullshit. Or in the words of the Right Reverend Mystical. Exactly. All right. It sounds like some bullshit, you know? So, I mean, I want you to understand something, brother. I want to believe you. I want this man, I want it to not be true. If this man was messing around with a 17-year-old girl, you don't want that to be true because she was 17. And he's not. You would hope That's not true. You would pray. Oh my God. You would pray. That's not true. Brothers and sisters. All right? You would pray. I'd pray very, very hard. This is not true. But, let's continue with this interview because, I'm telling you, this interview is so uncomfortable, man. Again, it's like taking a really big shit. I'm telling you. Oh my God, it's like taking a really big shit.
Down payment on this bribe. I don't think it's a coincidence that tonight, somehow, the New York Times is leaking this information, smearing me, and ruining the investigation that would likely result in one of the former colleagues of the current DOJ being brought to justice for trying to extort me and my family.
Wait. Look at Tucker's face as soon as he said that, right? Hold on. I'm gonna ask y'all a question, right? I'm gonna ask the audience. Audience, tell me. We're gonna look closer at Tucker's face. We're gonna just zoom in. We're gonna zoom. Yeah, zoom. Is that a man who's convinced? You tell me. No. I don't want to tell you. You tell me, baby. Does that look like a man who is convinced? Tell me. Does that man look convinced? Do you think so? Because if you think so, let me know. Because there are some unicorn horns and goblin's teeth that I want to sell you. If you think that he's convinced of what this man just said. If you think that, I got some unicorn horns and goblin's teeth that I want to sell you, baby. I want to sell you at a market in Middle Earth, baby. Hit up my freaking middleman, Lando Calrissian, okay? All right, if you believe that man is damn convinced. But let's continue.
So a couple of obvious questions that come to mind, and again, just to restate, this just happened. Don't have any other information beyond what we've already said and you have said. First of all, who is this Department of Justice former employee who's trying to extort the money from you? You say
his name is David McGee. He was a top official in the leadership in the Northern District of Florida as a prosecutor. He currently works.
Right. Hold on. David McGee. So you telling me? Let me look up David McGee. Cause see, I always want to look this guy up. Cause see, when people make these claims, I want to know who is David McGee. It's from the Sun News right here. So it's going to be from the Sun News. Who is David McGee and what has Matt Gaetz accused him of? It's going to be interesting. I want to see this, though. I want to read this real quick because it's going to be interesting. So David McGee served for the DOJ Justice Department. He practiced law for 37 years. So a man who's been practicing law for 37 years is going to turn around and extort someone for money. He's been in the DOJ, practiced law for 37 years. I want to understand something. The DOJ is not going to just pick up somebody, right, who is not good at what they do or is not making a lot of money at what they do. So do you think he's the type of guy who has to extort somebody? Do you honestly think that? Gaetz said in a statement, over the past several weeks, my family and I have been victims of an organized criminal extortion involving a former DOJ official seeking $25 million while threatening to smear my name. Gaetz said his family has been cooperating with the FBI and said his father was wearing a recording device at the FBI's direction to catch these criminals. I want to see it. David McGee. So David McGee, if he's been there for the past 37 years, and if Matt Gaetz is a Republican, because David McGee he told the Daily Beast that the reports of extortion were completely and totally false. He added that it's a blatant attempt to distract from the fact that Matt Gaetz is apparently about to be indicted for sex trafficking underage girls. Whoo! Oh my God! Oh my God! Whoa. Whoo. That's
I'll tell you what.
That is, I'll tell you what. That was that was a wild one. Whoo! You know it's bad when it make you do the fucking Ric Flair. Whoo! Man, that is brutal. That is brutal. That is brutal. You want me to believe, Matt Gaetz, that a man who's been practicing law for 37 fucking years, who pretty much knows the full conviction of extortion, right, is gonna suddenly do this shit? Wait, I wanna know, how much is David McGee worth? What's this? Again, he better be poor. David McGee net worth. I want to know how much this man's worth. You see, here's some details that people don't usually add in, right? If he's a multi-millionaire, or if he's a fucking millionaire, Matt Gaetz is lying. Okay, so Dave McGee biography. Let's go on to biography. Dave McGee. No, that's not the right one. Federal prosecutor. Here we go. Federal prosecutor. Dave McGee. JD. Okay, he serves as a federal prosecutor in Florida. He has 37 years of experience and a well-known lawyer. Well-known lawyer. Okay. Well-known lawyer. So if he's a well-known lawyer, he's probably not poor. He better be poor. He better be poor. He better be poor. Biggs and Lane. I don't see a net worth here. There is no net worth here. Why is there net worth here? You told me it's going to be net worth here. But still, Biggs and Lane net worth. If this is a huge law firm, he's been doing this for 37 years now. Yeah. 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 Wait a minute. Boom. Boom. I got something better. I got something better. Where is it? Where is it? I just saw this. I might have to edit all this right here out. Yeah, I'll just edit all this out.
Occurred at that law firm.
There we go.
And the money that was supposed to be paid today that would have shown even more evidence of David McGee's work in this extortion scheme, that was foiled by the New York Times story.
Really?
And I believe that's why.
Wait a minute. Wait, hold on. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on, wait a minute. Did you hear this shit? So he's claiming now, right? This man's claiming that the New York Times story is what thwarted this lawyer of 37 fucking years hired by the Department of Justice working for the federal goddamn government. Do you not think this lawyer who done seen probably murder trials, rape trials, pedophilia trials, trials on trials on trials, baby, you not think he would plan a little bit better? This man worked for the Department of fucking Justice. And now you want to tell me that a New York Times article is what thwarted his plans? Now, I can see you claiming that they thwarted his plans after the fact. But you don't think he would plan a little bit better than this? No? You know, a little bit better than fucking Matt Gaetz? Look at this man. Look at this man. I want you to see Matt Gaetz' face. I want you to look at it. Stare at it. Who do you think is smarter? David McGee or Matt Gaetz? Who do you think is a smarter person? David McGee or Matt Gaetz? Do you think that a Department of Justice official with 37 years of legal fucking experience, 37 years, 37 years, all right, 37, not 3-6 Mafia, 3-7, baby, is gonna fuck that up and let the New York Times fuck that up? I'm not saying it's concrete evidence that he did it. I'm saying, do you believe that shit? I'm asking you who's watching the screen right now, baby. Do you believe this shit? I gotta tell you, I'm struggling. Oh my God, I'm struggling to believe what the fuck he's saying right now, baby. I'm struggling. Listen. I'm trying to get this man a chance. This interview is painful. It hurts me to watch. It makes my eyes hurt, baby. It ain't the goddamn weed. It's this shit. All right?
Family. That's his motivation, you're saying.
I know the law firm and the money that was supposed to be paid of David McGee's work in this extortion scheme, that was foiled by the New York Times story, and I believe that's why this horrible information and these terrible allegations have been used this evening.
So you're, and I'll get to the investigation in a sec, but you're saying that David McGee was motivated by greed. He was trying to extort money from your family.
Right.
That's his motivation, you're saying.
I know that there was a demand for money in exchange for a commitment that he could make this investigation go away along with his co-conspirators. They even claimed to have specific connections inside the Biden White House. Now,
what? Matt, let me point something out to you, brother. Matt, you see, January 6th, there was an insurrection event or riot or whatever you want to call it, you know, depending on if you're on the left, the right, center, if you hanging from the freaking rim, if you dunking down the freaking court, whatever you want to call it. I call it an insurrection event. And some people said that you incited that. Now, if this person is truly a Department of Justice official, and I know strategy, tactical strategy, I know I don't do it, but I know how to smear somebody really, really well. You know, you learn those tactics and intel in the Army. And you always take the path of least resistance. You don't, for example, if you could accuse someone let's say someone is known to go gambling. You can accuse them of being a serial gambler and therefore not fit for office, versus saying that they are an extraterrestrial alien reptile. Always go with the path of least resistance. So why then create a whole new story about you hanging out with a 17-year-old girl versus just faking some emails? Because if they sent these demands, right, these demands can be, monitored. If they send it by text, screenshots can be taken from the phones. If they send it by email, screenshots can be taken from the freaking computer. If they sent a letter, that letter can be taken by law enforcement. If they meet you in person, law enforcement can have you wear a freaking wire. So why go through all that effort when they can simply fake an email? And sometimes in court cases, I'm telling you, I work corrections. There's some bullshit that has definitely gotten through based on my experience with, being a 25 Bravo, which is an information technology specialist in the Army. I've seen a lot of shit get freaking faked, man. They teach you everything about information like tech, how to hack, something's fake or authentic on the freaking, on your network, your computer, you name it, right? So I'm thinking to myself, I'm an Department of Justice official. If a correctional officer, sir, has seen that, surely somebody with 37 years of fucking experience has seen that, right? So why go through the effort? Why go through the effort of doing all that when the easiest thing to do is fake it? So fake an email saying that you were encouraging the Capitol riot. And given the fervor against that shit right now, that would have gotten you removed from office just as easy. In fact, in some cases, faster. Faster, actually. Especially if it were done earlier. I mean, why wait to this point to make something up? See, the tactical strategy just doesn't make any sense to me. Let's say if somebody wanted to make up some false allegations against you, right? Why not, since from the very, very day or the very, very next day after the Capitol riot, there were people accusing people like Matt Gaetz, Marjorie Taylor Greene, Donald Trump, and others of inciting the Capitol riot. So you're going to make up some evidence against, some fake evidence against someone. Why not then make a false email or a false text message or use some deep fakes, superimpose Matt Gaetz's face over somebody else, all right? And make it seem like he's inciting the freaking riot or inciting it directly, like saying, hey, go out and kill people, Wouldn't that be easier? Wouldn't that be easier? I mean, maybe not the whole deep fakes thing, but the fake letter, the fake text, fake email. Why make up a story about a 17-year-old girl when the most opportune time to blackmail you or extort you was the day after the Capitol riot? That was the most opportune time to do that, right? So why go through all this effort now? It just doesn't make fucking sense. It just doesn't make fucking sense whatsoever. The timing just doesn't add up. See, I'm a very tactical mind. I think tactically, right? So that's how I see this shit. It just doesn't add up to me, man. This sounds like some bullshit. And Tucker, poor Tucker, man. I feel bad for Tucker. His ass looked like he confused as fuck. He looked like he don't even want to be there. He don't even want to be. Does that man look like he want to be here? He don't.
I don't know if that's true. They were promising that Joe Biden would pardon me. Obviously, I don't need a pardon. I'm not seeking a pardon. I have not done anything improper or wrong.
So what if this man is talking about pardons preemptively to try to convince Joe Biden to pardon him? Wouldn't that be some shit? Wouldn't that be some shit? Wouldn't that be some shizit? You know, I gotta tell you, man, I can't suffer too much more of this shit, man. Because I gotta go towards the end. Tucker, man, I feel so bad for this man.
Chance to tell the truth, Tucker. I appreciate it.
Look,
it's a more interesting and complicated story than I knew from reading about it. Thank you very much.
Look at Tucker. Look at Tucker's face.
Matt Gaetz interview, that was one of the weirdest interviews I've ever conducted. That story just appeared in the news a couple of hours ago. And on the certainty that there's always more than you read in the newspaper, we immediately called Matt Gaetz and asked him to come on and tell us more, which is...
That man looks unconvinced, bro. That man looks unconvinced, bro. That man looks unconvinced, bro. Listen, so much about that story just doesn't add up to me, man. If you think about it, right? Think about it. Why would you, if you work for the federal government, for the Department of Justice, right? Think about it. Why would you make up a story like that about Matt Gaetz being with a 17-year-old girl when you could just as easily, the day after the Capitol riots, since everyone was saying that Matt Gaetz and Marjorie Taylor Greene and Donald Trump and so many others were inciting the Capitol riots who were actually politicians, wouldn't it be the easier thing to do is like fake an email or fake a text message or fake a letter or forge his fake signature saying that he personally, you know, encourages violence? Wouldn't that be easier? Wouldn't that be more opportune versus just making up a story about a 17-year-old girl? Think about it. Think long and hard about that one now. Do you honestly believe Matt Gaetz? Let me know in the comments, guys. Anyways, that's gonna be it for this particular video. Horns up, peace out. Good night and good luck. All right, guys, that's going to be one live edit done. All right, I'm getting another live edit. So this is actually a live show, and so you guys get to see me work live. So I got to edit that down a lot. That's a long video. That's going to be like 30 minutes. So I'm going to cut it down to like 15. But I know I'm very, very much high energy and entertaining. So that's good. So let's go ahead and get back to the show. All right, we're going to get back to some more news. Some more stories some other stories that I want to cover. Man, I tell you, it's the Matt Gaetz story. That one, that just, it just, I just, I can't talk about it no more. Someone's calling me. Turn my volume down. So, we gotta get into a story. We're gonna talk about the transgender culture war, man. We gotta talk about that now. So let's get into the live scene. And we're gonna all right, so let me go ahead and press the record button. By the way, guys, we read out some comments here. Republic says, I'm here. Reround stream. Love and respect. He also says, not convinced. Wow. DM Coscail says, this case with Matt Gaetz isn't adding up. Absolutely. I salute you all. I salute you, Republic. I salute you, DM Cosmic Chaos. Welcome to the chat. Let's get into the live show. All right. So here goes the live show right here, and this is going to be crazy. All right, so this is a story from CNN Politics. Looking to 2024, South Dakota Governor Kristi Noem gets caught in GOP culture war over transgender athletes. This story is I've been hearing a lot about the story, a lot about it, and it's crazy. I mean, I at one point had certain beliefs about transgender athletes until I learned more, because a lot of it was just ignorance, right? Ignorance on my part. And I learned more about it, and I became a lot more open to it, right? Because the more you get exposed to different people, the more you change. And to me, and I think that many people would actually agree, to me, love is love, man. I don't want to judge you. I don't want to prevent you from doing nothing, man. If you want to do something, man, live your life, bro. You know, I don't personally, I'm not getting down with this whole hating on transgender people, man. I can't do it. I can't hate somebody because they born a certain way, man. Like, I don't look at somebody like, you know, Bruce Jenner or now, as I should properly call her, Caitlyn Jenner. I'm calling her Caitlyn Jenner. I don't think someone transitions like that and there wasn't something already in them when they were born. And if that's the case, how can you judge that person? It's like judging somebody if they were born with like Tourette's. They were born gay, born with one eye, born one leg, born with no eyes, born with no nose. They have to get some kind of surgery to get some extra nostrils. You know, there's been things like that before. People are born different, man. I don't want to judge you for that. And when I was much younger, I used to have some really, really hard beliefs against gay people, transgender people, lesbians. But then, as I was exposed to those people, I met a friend in combat. His name was Jason. He was gay. This is before Don't Ask, Don't Tell was repealed. The whole unit treated him like shit because he was gay. And so I stood in. I stood up for him. Me and Jason aren't the best of friends like right now. But in that moment, I don't know what came over me. I never quite saw myself as like the heroic type, the type to go and defend someone, but there was something about that. It felt wrong. It bothered me. And I couldn't just watch it. So when no one else wanted to be a roommate with this man while we were down in combat in Afghanistan, Kandahar, I roomed with him. I became friends with him. We played Magic together. In fact, me and Jason no longer friends, but me and his brother, we actually played Magic together now. So it's kind of funny how that works out. But I guess I stepped in, if I think about it now, because I thought that for once someone else knew what it was like to be a nigger. We came from South Carolina, and for the longest time, I got treated differently because I was black. Because in some neighborhoods I was in, man, it just wasn't very, very hospitable towards black people in particular. So I knew what that was like. I saw his face, and it wasn't right. It wasn't right. But let's get into the story. I know I kind of went off a little tangent there, but I think those kind of things are important to tell, those kind of stories. Because at one point I was a bigot. I fully admit it. I'm not gonna sit here and pretend like I'm some perfect guy. That's one thing about the people like about me is that I'm authentic. I don't bullshit you. I tell you everything about myself because I don't want you to make the same mistakes that I made in my life. I want you to be better than me. Always. And love people for who they are, not for what you want them to be. Let's get to the story, though. Washington, CNN, a major fault line within the Republican coalition over transgender student athletes has opened up. One potential White House hopeful, South Dakota Governor Kristi Noem has found herself caught in the middle. After saying earlier this month she was excited to sign a bill preventing transgender students from competing in same gender sports, Noem effectively killed the legislation last week that had been passed by Republican majorities in the State House and Senate, citing concerns the bill as is would invite lawsuits. Yeah, it will. It will absolutely invite lawsuits. And the thing about it is that the reason why it will, it's not so much that it is immoral, right? It's that it's immoral and it's limiting. See, some can be a little bit immoral by your particular standards, but it doesn't really affect anyone else. Like, for example, some people might consider gambling to be immoral, but they'll allow it because it doesn't really affect them. They don't have to gamble, right? But when you do something that is immoral, like limiting people who are transitioning to a different gender, and on top of that, you are limiting. You're telling people what to do. And I think the government should know by now, between the riots we had over the past summer to the Capitol insurrection in January, the one thing that the U.S. government should know by now is that whenever you tell the people not to do something, they'll do it to piss you off. Because we are America. That's just who we are. We are America. That's just who we are. On Monday, however, she followed up by issuing 2 executive orders that implemented a ban on people who assigned male on their original birth certificates from participating in women's sports in public high schools and colleges. That predictably sparked opposition from trans rights advocates who say the orders are unconstitutional and discriminatory because they reference the supposed harms of the participation of males in women's athletics, an echo of the transphobic claim that transgender women are not women. Yeah, I mean, it seems to be a revolving theme, especially among conservative circles, where it doesn't really matter, right? It doesn't really matter how someone may feel about this. It's just, imagine for a second you have a person who was born a male, and you are that person's parent. And this person isn't happy unless they are a girl. Right? It will be difficult for me to watch this, but at the end of the day, if my son felt like he couldn't love himself unless he was that, I couldn't do that to him. And maybe that makes me soft. But I don't do that out of some freakish nature of wanting to experiment or just wanting to do something bad to him. I just don't want to make him feel like I'm hurting him. I don't want to tell a child what you can and can't be if it's not going to hurt somebody else. If you want to be transgender, again, the way I was raised in South Carolina, so I would struggle with it, but I would ultimately give in because of my beliefs towards people, being allowed to love and live their lives the way that they want to live. I would ultimately give in to that desire, so long as no one gets hurt. So long as it's what they choose. And I would never want to tell my daughter, if I ever had a daughter, a transgender daughter, that you can't play basketball with the girls. That would break her heart. I couldn't do that to a child. Maybe somebody else could, but I'm not going to judge you for it. I don't think it makes you necessarily a horrible, mean, nasty person. I just personally don't agree. That's all. Because when it comes to these kind of issues, man, over time, like my heart has melted, and it's nothing but love for me, man. I don't hate nobody for this issue. If you agree with gay marriage or anything else, I personally agree with it. I think people should be able to marry whoever the fuck you want to. Personally, I think marriage in general is bullshit anyways. I don't think the government should be involved in anyways. I think the government should fuck off when it comes to the goddamn marriage. But love is love to me, man. Love is love. And heart is heart. Love is love. That kind of stands for the whole gay marriage thing. But heart is heart means, I'll allow you to be whoever the hell you want to be because that's your fucking right, man. That's your right, and that's none of my business. If you want to be transgender, that's not my business. You're not hurting me. People transition all the time. I don't internally combust from that. I don't melt to pieces. I don't blow up like a damn IED, okay? I want people to live their lives. And if we're telling children at a young, tender age and a very impressionable age that you can't live your life, you can't do something because you were born a certain way. I'm glad that I'm not in the position to make these decisions, man. I'm glad that I'm not in a position to make these decisions because when it comes to kids, I am a softie. It's with children. I'm normally all fired up. I'm Mr. Devil's Advocate, of course, so everybody knows me. I'm a hellraiser. But when it comes to children, I can't. I can't. Because I don't want to limit them. I don't want to set them off wrong, man. I want to tell them you can be anything that you want to be. I want to tell, every child that no matter what happens, be yourself. Even if someone doesn't agree, be yourself. For God's sakes, be yourself. Because yourself is all you got. But the move also prompted criticism from conservatives who claim the executive orders are unenforceable and toothless. Yeah. They're unenforceable and toothless. You can't really enforce this. It's unconstitutional. Trans rights are being recognized. So, it's going to be ruled unconstitutional. Ultimately. Right. Nuanced action is latest in a growing trend among Republican-leaning states where GOP politicians are embracing laws and executive orders to limit the participation of transgender students in school-sponsored sports. In recent weeks, the Republican governors in Mississippi, Arkansas, and Tennessee have all signed similar bills into law. Wow. So it's just, they're going full throttle with this. Full throttle. It's very, very interesting with that. Very interesting because it's a large concerted effort. And it seems to be coming in response to Biden becoming president because, if these things were already on their minds, why didn't they pass this stuff earlier? So it just seems to me that a lot of this is coming recently, full throttle in response to Biden. And I think it's also coming in response to Rachel Levine. Rachel Levine, she's the head of the U.S. Health Department. I want to say she's transgender. I remember I was mentioning her during the whole COVID thing, and I praised her. I said I'm proud of my country for putting a transgender person in a position of power. That was really cool. I was happy to see that, and I know I'm smiling because it always brings a smile on my face, man. When I see people, get a shot who earned it, because Rachel Levine went to freaking Harvard. You don't just get into Harvard. You don't just make it out of Harvard. No, you earned your way through damn Harvard. Yeah, that's a tough school. I'm smart, but even I couldn't get into that damn Harvard. Okay, I'm not arrogant enough to even think that for even a fucking second. But she was a great pickup. And I noticed that the Republicans didn't like her from day one. So I wonder if this is a reaction to her. Because again, if this were supposedly a big problem. You know, first of all, it's not a big problem. It's just kids, man. Kids. Chill, bro. But if this were supposedly a big problem, why not sign bills earlier? You know, that's what makes it suspicious to me, right? And again, I want to read this very, very next part of this next paragraph because it's very, very interesting. All of that suggests Republicans have found a new way to drum up support in their base by challenging the rights of a minority group. So, again, I noticed that many of the things that Republicans are doing now aren't so much caring about science, because even if you mention the science, and I'll actually listen to you, I'm ultimately gonna say, I'm still gonna say, let the kids play, man. You know, I'm gonna ultimately say that, but I will still hear you. You know, I'll hear any argument, but ultimately I'm still gonna say that. But even if that's the case, right? Notice the whole voting rights thing. Notice this. You just look at some of the abortion stuff now, the pro-life stuff that they're putting on the books now. It just seems like most of the things that they are going after is targeted around things that either offend minorities, like the Dr. Seuss books, or some of the statues, or the voting rights things, which offends black people and a lot of people who are and others who are marginalized in terms of voting rights, like felons. And then the whole thing with the whole pro-life legislation that's happening all over the country, you know, that offends a lot of women and abortion activists. It just seems like the watchword, the watch term, the watch phrase for the Republican Party is to target people who are minorities. It just appears to be their modus operandi. And I worry about that strategy because, first of all, it's going to fail, for one. And then two, let's say that somebody out there has a legitimate point about transgender people being in women's sports. Well, given how the Republican Party is obviously being a little bit racist, right? And being a little sexist, this could fall by the wayside as well, because like every other bigoted thing, it's all happening at once. And it's giving people a clearer picture of the Republican Party. You're anti-black, anti-woman, anti-trans. And for that reason, ultimately, I can't vote for the Republican Party anymore until I see a change. Now, you agree or disagree with the whole trans thing. That's fine. But as for me, I want people to live their lives, man. And that's just, I could totally get it if you don't agree. And that's why that's why I personally say, you know, I'm not going to jump on you. I'm not going to, you know, call you the crazy bigot. I'm not going to curse you out because I know people have different opinions. But ultimately speaking, I side with trans people. I side with gay people. I side with minorities. I side with everybody, man. I want people to live their lives. I want people to be happy. You know, so I ask people out there, just open your hearts. Open your hearts. And let your heart be the deciding factor. And if your heart still leads you to believe that, you know, trans people shouldn't be allowed in women's sports, well, I get it. I just don't agree. And I don't think that makes you a bad person or me a bad person. It just means that we don't agree. All right, that's good. That's another freaking live edit. I think that's going to be a great video. Tell me, chat, is that not going to be a good video? All right, Cosmic Squirrel says, Cosmic Squirrel, how you doing, sir? I salute you. All right. Hey, DA, yeah, it's good to get to know people, of course. I don't agree with athletic competition, though. It's biology. It's not fair to female athletes. Agreed. I agree to disagree. I don't hate you, man. I love you still, bro. I love you. I just don't agree with like that particular view. But you know what? Again, like I said in the whole live edit, man, there's no hate here. You know, I get it. Like I get that it may not be necessarily hate. You know? Because I understand that you have views on other things that don't match like a bigot, right? You're just kind of concerned about certain things, and you don't come across as like hateful. Nothing to do with morality, but physical reality. Again, I get it. Yeah, let the kids play co-ed. Girls scholarships depend on it. Well, the thing about it is that I get that part too. You know, again, there's no hate here. I just don't agree. But again, I get your concerns. They are valid. Is that fair? Your concerns are valid. I mean, those are valid questions, man. Again, people who are trans athletes, you gotta answer these freaking questions because I can't answer it for you. I'm not trans. I don't want to speak for you. I want to learn more about you, but I don't want to speak for you. I just want people to let you live. I think that's my job to convince people to just let you live, man. That's my purpose here in terms of trans being a trans ally. I want people to just let other people live, man. Let people live their best life. You know, it's not but love, you know, for the trans people, man, because they go through a lot of shit, man. They go through a lot of shit, man. It's just they've been persecuted, man. They've been treated like shit. A lot of them commit suicide. And people who are in that condition, I don't want to tell them no to anything, man. Because I want you to feel nothing but love from here, man. You know, maybe I'm becoming soft in my older age, man. I'll be 35 in April 16th. But I just want people to feel nothing but love, man. Let love guide you. Never hate. Never hate. And that's why I said today I was going to do a bad cop, no donut. Because there's going to be nothing but hate. Today I want the show to be about love. Well, and making fun of Matt Gaetz too. So, guys, that's going to be it for the Pitchfork podcast. Thank you for joining me, guys. I had a great time. It was wonderful. I love you all. Guys, guess what? Catch me tomorrow, 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Until next time, horns up, peace out. Good night, and good luck.